Standing at the range, I watch familiar polymer pistols banging away when it dawns on me that the guns generating real excitement aren't the headline names. They're the underdogs quietly backordered because shooters discover how well they work. Too many of us carry what everyone else carries without exploring pistols offering more capacity, better ergonomics, or smarter modularity. If you believe in the Second Amendment and choosing tools tailored to you, sticking to the usual suspects could mean missing out on something better. This countdown highlights pistols initially ignored or dismissed that are now hard to keep on shelves. Each earned its place through performance value and real-world use. Stick around, the one at the top reshaped concealed carry without most people noticing. Ruger Security 9. My first experience with the Ruger Security 9 felt like stepping back to a time when firearms just worked without fuss. Borrowing one for a weekend course, I expected a clunky budget gun. Instead, it impressed me with simplicity and reliability. A personal surprise is why it opens this list. Ruger resurrected its security name to signal an easy-to-own gun suited for concealed carry, hiking, or home defense. It fits most hands, holds 15+1 rounds, and costs about as much as a decent pair of boots. With modest 4-inch barrel, a slim polymer frame, a double-action-only hammer system, and a through-hardened steel slide-and barrel, there's a rail and a loaded chamber indicator. In practice, that means a pistol that carries easily, handles regular practice, and remains affordable. The Security 9 shoots better than its price, not gonna lie, because the grip is narrow, yet accommodates both hands, and the slightly vertical angle points naturally. In tests, only one extraction issue occurred after mixing ammunition brands. The heavy trigger is deliberate. It takes effort to fire, which isn't ideal for target work but can prevent unintended discharges. It lacks backstrap options or night sights, and its accuracy matches its price. Still, for a reliable, high-capacity pistol that conceals well and leaves money for ammunition, the Security 9 does the job. Think of it as the pickup truck of handguns, basic, dependable, and always ready. Beretta APX A1. Here, Beretta APX A1 out of curiosity and was surprised how good it felt. The original APX was competent but uninspiring. Beretta listened to feedback and quietly made it better, earning this pistol a spot on the list. The A1 drops finger grooves, adds varied textures, and deepens the beaver tail for an ergonomic grip. Slide releases on both sides and a reversible magazine catch help left-handed shooters. 3 backstraps come standard. Beretta lightened the striker spring and revised the trigger shoe, resulting in a smoother 6-pound pull. It's a 9mm striker pistol with a 4.25-inch barrel and magazines holding 10, 15, or 17 rounds. A removable serialized chassis allows swapping grip modules or installing a threaded barrel. Those features mean you can customize the gun without a gunsmith. The APX A1 balances well. The serrated slide is easy to rack, and the textures keep your hands planted in wet conditions. The trigger isn't match grade but resets consistently, and the pistol points naturally. My only gripe is that the taller rail could require a new holster, but reliability has been solid in my hands. PSA Dagger Micro. The Dagger Micro from Palmetto State Armory started as a low-cost clone of a famous Austrian design. I tried it with low expectations, but quickly became impressed. That turnaround captures why it earned 6th place. Recoil magazine called the Micro a budget editor's pick, noting it borrows from the Glock platform but improves carry comfort and capacity. While Glock's Micro pistols hold 10 rounds, the PSA magazine packs 15. It's built on a Gen 3 footprint, but PSA adds its own grippy texture and deep serrations. Fit and finish reflect the price, yet testers fired 500 rounds without malfunctions. The pistol uses a 3.9-inch barrel and polymer frame with a hinged trigger that feels closer to an aftermarket drop-in than a factory part. Compatibility with Glock slides and parts makes customizing easy. In practice, you get a micro gun with full-size capacity. Recoil is surprisingly mild, and the trigger break and reset are crisp. The finish isn't durable, but for the price you can upgrade or refinish without guilt. This isn't a pistol for bragging rights, it's a tool that performs. The Dagger Micro delivers 15-round capacity and reliability at half the cost of its competition. That combination makes it hard to find on shelves. For tinkerers, the broad parts compatibility invites modifications. And for budget-conscious carriers, it provides the peace of mind that comes from having enough rounds on tap in a tiny package. A CZ-P10COR. The CZ-P10C burst onto the scene as a potential Glock 19 challenger, then faded when Micro 9 stole the limelight. The optic-ready, suppressor-ready version brought it back. My own rediscovery mirrored that trend. Outdoor writers have said the CZ-P10C feels like it embarrasses more expensive pistols, and that really comes down to the grip geometry. It naturally encourages a high hold, keeps recoil flat, and lets the gun settle back on target without effort. The OR version builds on that by adding suppressor height sights, a threaded barrel, and an optics plate, while still keeping the original ergonomic grip and fully ambidextrous controls. With interchangeable backstraps and a reversible magazine release, you can actually fit the pistol to your hand instead of forcing your hand to fit the gun. It's a striker-fired 9mm with a 4-inch barrel and 15-round magazines, and the palm swell plus the undercut lock your grip in place, while the serrated slide stays easy to run. In real use, it lands right in Glock 19 territory for size and capacity, but with a grip that feels more sculpted and intentional. The P10COR shoots flat and points instinctively. The trigger break is predictable. The texture keeps the gun anchored during fast strings, and the suppressor height sights co-witness cleanly with a micro red dot exactly the way you want it to. Rediscovering the P10COR reminds us that good designs don't vanish. It may have been overlooked, but its balance of size, capacity, and shootability still shines. If you skipped it when micro pistols were all the rage, it's worth reconsidering. The grin after a flat shooting string will tell you why. Ruger RXM. Ruger and Magpul's RXM doesn't grab attention with flashy lines, but hides impressive versatility. Initially dismissed as another clone, it quietly won fans when shooters discovered its modular fire control insert. My first session revealed how adaptable it is. This pistol uses a fire control insert like SIG's FCU, allowing the serialized unit to move between grip modules. It accepts Glock Gen 3 parts and has a slide cut for major optics footprints, all for roughly $330. Industry writers predicted strong sales because of the trusted brands and low price. In size, it resembles a Glock 19 4-inch barrel. 15+1 capacity, about 7.15 inches long and 23 ounces. Magpul's grip module has an extended beaver tail and undercut trigger guard. Angled serrations provide good purchase. In practice, it feels slim yet secure, and the beaver tail helps you ride higher without slide bite. The RXM performs like a polished design. The trigger pull is consistent, the reset is positive, and the recoil is manageable. Swapping frames requires pushing a single pin and moving the insert. Reliability has been excellent across various loads. For under $400, the RXM gives you a modular platform. Buy one serialized insert and multiple grip modules to create different pistols. That practicality has turned it into a quiet success. Once you realize how easily you can change the gun's character, you'll understand why these fly off shelves despite modest marketing. Walther PDP Compact. The Walther PDP impressed me not with numbers, but with how naturally it felt in my hand. The first time I picked one up at a demo, it pointed exactly where I looked and locked into my palm like it belonged there. And that kind of ergonomic confidence is why it earns the bronze. The PDP's frames and slides are modular, so you can swap lengths to fit what you actually want to do with the gun, and the grip uses subtle swells instead of hard grooves, letting your fingers settle naturally while the aggressive texture keeps everything planted. Those deep super-terrain serrations give you a rock-solid grip on the slide, and Walther even sends you the correct optic plate for free, which still feels oddly generous in this market. The compact version runs a 4-inch barrel, weighs about 24 ounces and holds 15 or 18 rounds, depending on the magazine. The grip angle points intuitively, the undercut trigger guard lets you ride high, and reviewers consistently praise the trigger as one of the better striker-fired options out there. The slide is cut low enough that you can mount a red dot without needing tall suppressor sights, and in practice, that gives you mid-size concealability with the control and shootability of a larger gun. Durability and accuracy really stand out here. After 5,000 rounds, one reviewer still called the grip superlative and reliability excellent. The serrations make one-handed manipulations easy, magazines drop clean, and the gun shoots flat and predictable. Springfield Armory Echelon 4.0C. The Echelon 4.0C didn't grab my attention initially. It looked like yet another polymer pistol. Then I watched it on the range and noticed how shooters talked about its controls. When I tried it myself, I understood this gun quietly combines modularity and shootability. Its heart is the central operating group, a serialized chassis that drops into small, medium, or large grip modules. The pistol uses a 4-inch barrel and a slide with flared serrations. Springfield's interface system allows direct mounting of more than 30 optics. It ships with 15-round flush and 18-round extended magazines, so you choose capacity based on how you carry. Dimensionally, it competes with the Glock 19 9mm chambering 4-inch barrel and polymer frame. The COG means you can adjust the grip without a gunsmith, and fully ambidextrous controls welcome left-handed shooters. Flared slide serrations provide excellent purchase, and the extractor doubles as a loaded chamber indicator. Those features translate into a pistol that conceals like a compact, but shoots like a duty gun. The Echelon points naturally, the trigger breaks cleanly, and the grip texture holds without biting. Swapping grip modules is quick, and I found the medium size ideal. Mounting optics is easy, and they sit low enough for a co-witness with U-dot sights. Concealed with a 15-round mag, it disappears under a t-shirt. Swap to the 18-round mag at home for added security. Recoil magazine called the Echelon a fighting pistol that conceals well and competes with established duty guns. If you want to be early on an innovative design, this Springfield sleeper is a smart pick. It feels modern yet familiar, more like an evolution of the polymer pistol concept than a gimmick. SIG P365. The SIG P365 sits at the top because it reshaped concealed carry. When it launched in 2018, many viewed it as just another micro pistol. Then sales skyrocketed, and competing brands scrambled to match its capacity. My journey from skepticism to daily carry echoes that of countless gun owners. The real breakthrough of the P365 is the magazine. SIG's stack-and-a-half design manages to squeeze 10 rounds of 9mm into a truly tiny frame, and that alone made it an instant hit. Out of the box, it ships with two 10-round magazines, one flush and one with a pinky extension, and the optional 12-round magazine nearly doubles what most competing micro pistols were offering at the time. That single change completely reset expectations for how much a gun this small could realistically carry. Physically, the numbers tell the same story: a 3.1-inch barrel, 5.8 inches, overall length just 1 inch wide, and a little over a pound unloaded. It comes with X-ray 3 night sights using tritium inserts and a bright front ring that jumps into view. The grip has a subtle swell and an undercut trigger guard that lets you get 3 fingers on the gun, and a crisp trigger with a short reset ties it all together. In practical terms, that means true pocket-size carry without giving up a solid firing grip or usable night sights, which is exactly why this pistol changed the game. These pistols went from ignored to impossible to keep in stock because they offer real advantages: reliability, capacity, ergonomics, and modularity without breaking the bank. If you found this ranking useful, hit like and subscribe for more firearm discussions grounded in experience rather than hype. Share your own sleeper picks in the comments. I love hearing about guns that surprised you. Let me know which under-the-radar guns you'd add to this list. Until next time, stay safe and enjoy your range time.